What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Here right now getting a quick workout in, hitting chest today, a little bit of shoulders, triceps, and got to thinking about content creation and building a personal brand and all this stuff. And one of the things that really came to my mind is that I really want to help people get past the insecurity of not posting content. I was in here yesterday for the 4th of July and I ran across a guy who is wanting to get into content. He's wanting to start posting. He's wanting to build a brand and maybe even become a coach one day. But we're here I live in a small town here in Texas, and one of the things about small towns is that you know exactly the process. Like, you've seen your parents go through it, you've seen family members go through it, cousins. You've seen people go through the process of, like, they go to the local high school, they get out of high school, they go to a junior college or a college somewhere, and they all come back to town and they all end up working at the Walmart or the Dollar General or the, you name it, the Starbucks. And all those goals and dreams that they had never really end up coming to fruition. And so we got to talking because he didn't want to end up, in that spot. And I really related to him because I wasn't born in a small town, but I lived in a small town for a good portion of my life in Louisiana. And I watched a lot of my friends kind of go through the exact same thing of, they're either in jail, they're selling drugs, or, they are working at Walmart, or they're just not doing what they really set out to do. Like, they're not living out their purpose, they're not living out their dreams, and it's because they are stuck in this ecosystem of either caring what other people think about, or just not doing the things that they know that they should do. So we got to talking a little bit about that. Don't mind me, I'm still going to work out. So we got talking a little bit about that. And like I said, he wanted to become a coach and he wants to get into the fitness industry. And he had this huge camera. It was a 4K, a really nice camera, honestly. But when I followed him on Instagram, and when I went to his page, it was like no posts. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you posting? Like, what's the holdup? And it really came down to, like, at first it was just, creating content and overthinking the editing process, and, thinking about how to make it super high quality and 4K and all this stuff. And I was telling him, like, dude, like, just post. You have little to no followers at the moment. There's no one to impress. You don't know what your style is because you haven't created any content yet. So just post. Like, post your first 20 pieces of content, and then, check the results and see, okay, what do people like more? Do they want, high production? Because we're also in a phase right now where high production really isn't the thing to do, right? A lot of people like the Sam Sulek style of content. And so kind of talked a little bit about that and how he needs to just kind of get over the fact that you can't always post high quality content and think everyone's going to like it, right? Like, what you may like may be the same thing that someone else hates, and what you hate may be the thing that someone else likes. Like, you kind of just have to post what you love and let people fall in line, or else you'll end up just like being a slave to what everyone else wants. So talk about that for a little bit. And we kind of, hopefully, I don't know necessarily what he's going to do just yet, but hopefully he kind of decided to take the route of just posting content and seeing what sticks. But then I kind of took us into another conversation of, like, what's really holding you back? Like, what's the real thing? Like, I know you're saying that it's this, but, like, like, is that really it? Like, is there nothing else that's holding you back other than the post editing? And at the end of the day, obviously there was more. It really came down to, what his friends would think. It came down to insecurity of being on camera. It came down to a lot of, like, inner stuff. And that's the stuff that I want to talk to you about today, is, like, being anxious, being insecure, caring about what your friends think, like, we all go through it as content creators, as creators, as coaches, as business owners, entrepreneurs. We all go through that same thing of imposter syndrome, of like, who do I think, like, it's kind of like I said before, like, it's your brain going, who do you think you are to get on the camera and tell people what they should do, right? And you have to kind of get over that part. We all, like I said, we all go through it, but whether you do the thing you know you should do or you don't, the same people are going to be watching. They're going to still be thinking about you. You're still going to be insecure either way it goes. So why not at least move in the right direction? Like, that's the part that always gets me, is like, okay, once we get past the fact that you need to do it anyway because all these things are still going to be there, at that point it's either selfish or you're either going in faith or you're going in fear. If you're going in the fear route, it's always going to be selfish. It's going to be something that you are dealing with because of you. Like, we talked about the fact that, he didn't know what to post in his content. And it's just like, give tips, give people, like, talk to yourself in your videos. Like, what would have helped you out, in the beginning stages of building your, coaching program or working out or doing whatever you're doing. Talk to that person. I know when I got into this whole, content creation deal, like, one of the really first people that helped me out and really kind of broadened me out of my shell was Gary Vee. And he always talked about, like, basically just overcoming yourself, like, get the crap over it. At the end of the day, it's like, are you moving closer or are you going back, or are you going backwards? That's really the only two options. You're either going to get closer to your goal or you're getting further away from your goal. And if you care so much about what other people think to the point where you don't even want to move towards your goal, I think that's a whole different problem. And the only way to solve that problem is to take action anyway. Like, there has to come a point in your life where you decide to write the story and you stop letting other people decide what that story should be. Because at the end of the day, those people aren't going to be there anyway. When you look back in your life and, 5, 6, 10, 15 years, those people that you care about right now, those high school friends, those college friends, they might not even be in your life at that point. Like, that was a good one. A lot of people I went to high school with, I don't even talk to. I don't think I have one high school friend that I talk to on a consistent basis. I have 0 college friends that I talk to on a consistent basis. Like, everyone I know now don't even know that version of me from I think, like, the oldest friend I have right now was from like 2013 or something like that. And there's one, maybe 2 of those. But it's like they're on the same path as me, where they're content creators and they're trying to, do better for their lives and hit their goals and stuff like that. Otherwise, they're not even in my life to even give me a judgment. So like, a lot of times we have all these thoughts about the people that are thinking about us and all this crap, but at the end of the day, like, those people aren't even going to be there. Like, in 5 years, they're still going to be thinking about you. They're still going to see you on social media. They're still going to see you on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. And they're either going to watch you pursue your dreams or they're going to watch everything you talked about fail. And at the end of that 5-year period, you can either be 1 or 2 people. You can be the guy who's in your small town that made it and became a success and inspires hundreds of thousands of people all over the internet or all over the globe or whatever. Or you can be just another guy who goes into the system and goes and works at Walmart and goes and work at, for whatever company and live a mediocre life. That's kind of stuff we talked about. Like, we really kind of just boiled it down to, like, dude, you're 21 years old. Like, take the next 10 years, man, and just go, like, try stuff. Go do everything that you can. Because if I could go back to 21, 10 years ago and understand where social media is now, 10 years ago, back in 2014, dude, I would have started creating content a long time ago. I would have done this so long ago. But I was doing network marketing where, social media is pretty much frowned upon, especially like in this context. I was just kind of all over the place. I didn't really like take a time to think for myself and follow through with the advice that I knew would have worked. I would meet YouTubers all the time and they'd be like, yeah, I'm doing this. And I'd be like, oh, that's cool. But like, I'm doing this. And not understanding that I could have just combined the two. And that's one of the biggest regrets I have as far as like my entrepreneurial journey and being on social media. I just wish that I would have like took that more serious back then. Sorry, I know I'm all over the place. Definitely all over the place. I'm trying to figure out like what I'm gonna do next in my workout, like as I'm going and as I'm talking to you guys. So just bear with me. Ooh, gonna hit some triceps real quick, and then I'm gonna do some shoulders, and I'm going home. I've been here for about 40 minutes so far. Did some bench. That was my my sixth set of the incline superset that I was doing over there. So now I'm just gonna wrap it up with tries and some shoulders. But yeah, kind of back to it. Don't let your insecurity kill your dreams. Understand that your brain is designed to keep you safe, not happy. That's why you need a coach. That's why you need someone else to look at your life from an unemotional standpoint and kind of give you guidance on what your goals are in life. Because what you'll do is you'll tell yourself, oh, that has to wait for this time, and this thing has to get perfect before I do this, or this has to get perfect before I do that. And the biggest thing is like, it's just simply not true. I have a client right now that's struggling with his ads due to like finances or whatever. And the biggest thing is like, of course you're not gonna want to do it, even though it makes the most sense logically. Even though that if you just did this, if you just did A, you'll get to point B. There's always something that's blocking you, which is why you got the coach in the first place. And the thing is, I realize is that I run into a lot of people that want coaches and they get coaches, and then instead of using the coach as someone to guide their decisions, they decide to use the coach as someone that they want to tell the decisions that they already made to. Does that make sense? Like, they make decisions first and then ask about it afterwards, instead of asking first and getting guidance and then following through on what was spoken about. And they justify it by the fact that they have a coach. Like, just because you have a coach doesn't mean that you're coachable. Just because you have a coach doesn't mean that you're going in the right direction. You still have to listen to the coach and get advice from the coach. Coach isn't here just to justify dumbass reasons and dumbass excuses for things that you should be doing or should not be doing. Right? Fear is real. People are crippled by fear constantly. Even when they know that the thing that they're struggling with can be solved so easily, they still decide to go in the direction of fear. Like if I said, look, you got rent due, you got bills due, your car's due, all this crap is due in the next 30 days. But if you take $5,000, not saying that this is the number, but if you take $5,000 and you put it here, you'll get $20,000 back. And you tell me that you'd rather just pay the bills? More power to you. More power to you. Let's ride with this next set. I just want people to understand that they're stuck because of them. They're not stuck because of the business model. Some people, I'm lying. Some people are stuck because of their business model, but a lot of people are stuck simply because of themselves. You know, they're stuck because of the business model they choose. Some people are stuck because of decisions they're making. Some people are stuck because of the decisions that they're not making. And those are the people, those are the ones, those are the ones that need the coaching. They know what they should be doing. Yet, I don't mind someone that's moving and just happen to make the wrong choices. That person is navigatable, for lack of better words. You're able to steer that person in the right direction, right? But the person that like won't move the car because of fear or because of whatever reason, those are the people that cause the headaches. The one that's like, I know I need to hit the accelerator, but I just won't let myself do it because what if I hit a car in the future? It's like, yeah, but like, what if you don't? I'd rather take the person that's going full speed and hitting cars, and we just got to replace cars, versus the person that just won't even press the gas. So that's just me. I know a lot of people want the opposite, but if you're working with me, like, I expect action. I expect you to already be moving. My goal isn't to get you started. Like, my goal is to direct and to navigate. My goal is to get you to from point A to point B, which means that you're already moving. I'm just trying to give you the route, right? I'm not trying to get you to want to go to point B. Like, if you don't know if you want to go to point B, I'm not the person for you. Like, I'm just not. If you don't want to live a better life, if you don't want to start creating content to get out of the situation that you're in, if you don't want to, start your program, like, I'm not here to convince you to do it. I'm not. Like, it's not gonna happen. I don't even like doing sales calls, let alone trying to sell you after the sales call. Like, that's just stupid in my opinion. I think, like, if you're gonna book a sales call for a coach, whether it's me or not, like, if you're gonna book a sales call for a coach and you want coaching, you should already know, like, that you're ready to move forward. You're somebody who's ready to pull the trigger on things, and you just need advice, and you'll take that advice and you'll run with it and let the rest be history. Like, don't get a coach and then still try to make decisions as if you're the coach. Like, stupid. This is our last set right here. I mean, I have enough time to do shoulders like I thought, but it's all good. I'll come in tomorrow and I'll just like focus on shoulders and legs. Oh man. For a side note, I'm going to be starting a podcast pretty soon with a good friend of mine. Obviously, I know you guys know that I have my podcast already, but I'm going to be starting a podcast here pretty soon, talking about content creation and, the world of content, tips and tricks, from different perspectives though. So obviously with my content, I'm more so on the business side of things, where the friend I have, he's more of an entertainer. He has a food channel. And so we can kind of talk about the content world from different perspectives. So once that gets started, I'll let you guys know. We're planning on getting that kicked off here pretty soon, probably within the next week or so. And it won't be like your traditional podcast where it's like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3 each week. We'll kind of just put out videos whenever we want, as much as we can. And they won't be like just formal conversations where we have a topic and we just talk about it. It'll be very like, we really plan for it to be very conversational. We plan for it to be very on the whim. So like, right now, how I'm kind of chatting about this insecurity thing or fear or coaching and stuff like that, like we'll just hop on a call and we'll talk about it from his perspective, from my perspective, and really just kind of decipher things and jump into things that way. So that's gonna be coming soon. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, guys, if you do want help in your coaching business or with social media content and branding, stuff like that, go ahead, book a call below in the description. Again, if you're on the fence about coaching, if you're on the fence about starting your business, please don't book a call. Like, let's just save each other's time. However, go follow me on Instagram at Samuel Bell Jr. But if you are ready and you're a coach that's already either kicked off or you want to get started, book a call below in the description below. Let's work. So that, guys, I'm wrapped up. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.